Herb. I'll make it short and sweet. I'm a big supporter of Repower America. I was extremely disheartened to hear our president say that he thought nuclear power was part of the clean energy option, and I think it would be one of the biggest mistakes to finance or even to perpetuate further nuclear power plants. What is your opinion?
I think we've got to, in order to deal with power, have the energy independence, and we need to have a pretty wide, there is no one simple solution for it. So nuclear power does have a piece in that. Now I really think you've got to focus though on wind energy and solar energy, and other renewables is where the big focus is, but there's a tremendous amount of power that has to be generated. So how do we wean ourselves away from into more clean energy? And there is no one silver bullet, I think is the problem with it. If there ever was a silver bullet when it came to energy, we're using it now, and that's called oil. You know, oil is a pretty powerful, potent energy source, but we know from a pollution standpoint and other things that it's we need to wean ourselves of it. Not to mention from a national security basis, we don't want to be buying oil from Saudi Arabia and Russia and other countries that don't like us a whole lot, aren't necessarily real friendly to us. That we want to have that kind of energy independence. So I agree with the president that that's a piece of it. But it's much broader than that. We're not going to put all of our eggs in one basket. It's got to be very broad. And in the renewable areas, for example, wind and solar, Michigan actually, we have a great opportunity to be a big leader in that. We are one of the leading manufacturers of solar energy in the country, which most people are kind of surprised at when they hear that. And you know, those of us who lived in Michigan our whole life, you know, this is not a real sunny place necessarily. It wasn't today. It was a beautiful day. We have some energy today, but it's not real sunny. But you have to remember that the country that leads the world in solar energy right now is Germany. And Germany's weather is not a whole lot different than ours. Plus we have incredible manufacturing. Dow Chemical just announced a big expansion of a plant for solar energy there. We've got one in Auburn Hills, Solar Avonics, that's a leader in that as well. We just passed a bill in Congress dealing with demonstration projects to demonstrate solar energy and the incredible potential that it has and advance the technology further through the Science and Technology Committee that I'm on. And I was able to get two key amendments on that bill that will be very helpful to us. The first amendment said that when you're making those decisions as to where to put those demonstration projects, one of the criteria should be states with high unemployment. So, so that's going to be helping us here in Michigan. The second, second amendment I got said that there should be those companies that actually manufacture in the United States. So that's also the manufacturing is done right here in Michigan. So those will be helping us a great deal. We've got a great opportunity there. Also on wind energy, in fact I've been talking to a company that's looking at some of our plants that had been closed because of the downsizing of the autos to come into some of those plants to build wind turbines. You know, we've got the workers that know how to build those kind of things, so we've got big plants to do that. Michigan's a fairly windy state along the Great Lakes or out in the Great Lakes, so we do offshore stuff. So there's tremendous potential there. So that's where I think the focus is, but I don't think we should exclude any particular energy source in that we're going to need a lot of different sources in order to power, particularly when we go to hopefully as we move towards electric vehicles and the electric and we power alternative energy. And there's exciting stuff here, not just the Volt that's coming out, the Chevy Volt, but Ford Motor is going to have an all-electric vehicle next year in 2011 that'll get 100 miles on one charge in the battery. Right now it charges over the night at home, but their engineers are working right now on a charging system. They're still a little ways off, but a charging system that can charge that car in 6 minutes. So you imagine having a 6-minute charge and go 100 miles. I mean, those kind of things are game changers. And it's happening here in Michigan. It's part of the battery grant that Vice President Biden came in and announced $1.2 billion, most of that coming into Michigan for advanced battery, advanced research, the Advanced Vehicle Act that I've authored. All that stuff will start transforming our transportation sector, which really allows us to free ourselves of foreign oil. And that's what we got to talk to our friends too, or out there saying we shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why they like buying oil from Saudi Arabia and Venezuela and Russia. We need to be keeping all those dollars right here in the United States, and we need to be building cars in the United States that use electricity, and that's how we're going to power it.
All right, thanks, Gary.